The Mito Red MitoPRO 300. It's the most popular panel that Mito Red sell. I've got it inside this box. I'm gonna open it up, test it, experiment with it, play with it, compare it, and share all my thoughts. Let's get into it. Hey guys, Alex here from alexfergus.com, and yes, I have the Mito Red MitoPRO 300. This is the tabletop panel, tabletop red light therapy panel from Mito Red. These guys come out with some great quality, great performing red light therapy panels and products in general now. It's quite interesting how the space has gone from just your regular body panels to small panels, battery powered panels or devices, wraps, all sorts of things now. So it's pretty cool. And these guys over at Mito Red do sell a lot of those other red light therapy devices. They've even got red light therapy beds and all sorts. Now this company's been around for a couple years now. They impressed back in 2018, 2019 when I tested their one of their first generation body panels. More recently, in my last body panel comparison series, their MitoPRO 1500, the big brother compared to this, took out overall panel for that year, which was quite an achievement. So I've got high expectations for this little device. What's interesting is the guys from Mito Red said that this is their most popular panel that they sell, which really surprised me, but it makes sense. I mean, it's a good size unit. A lot of people want it for skin beauty reasons. They're not looking for the performance benefits that red light therapy brings that, you know, I personally am interested in. So I can see why it is a good or popular panel, especially given the price. So this particular unit sells for $350 or $349. Discount code ALEX, ALEX, will save you 5%. That brings the price down to $332. So pretty good price given what you're getting and given that it's gonna be a good product from a great company. So in this video, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna test it. I've got EMF meters, spectrometers, all those sort of things lying around. I'm going to quantify how powerful it is, do some value calculations, compare it to some other products similar to this on the market. I have done quite a few tabletop reviews of late. I'll put links to them all below, and later on this year I'm going to do a big comparison between them all, so be sure to subscribe if you want to check that out. We will touch on some of those comparisons in this video as well though. So first things first, quick specs. 60 LEDs, 4 wavelengths, what I consider to be a tabletop device, tabletop red light therapy panel. Comes with this built-in stand, which is pretty neat. $332 after using discount code ALEX. It's a good price for what you're getting. Shipping is free in America. However, if you're shipping it to Australia or New Zealand, expect to pay about $80. If you're shipping it to the UK, expect to pay about $100. Go through the process, put it in the checkout, put your address, see what the shipping quote is. But $80 for Australia and New Zealand, $100 for the UK. I mean, it's a little bit up there, but like I said, that seems to be the norm with freight these days, which is a bummer. When it comes to look and feel, well, I mean, it is front on. It just does look like a smaller version of the MitoPRO 1500, which I actually have right behind me. I'm not going to be able to get it all in shot because it is rather big. But if you put them side by side, yeah, it's the 300, just a chopped off version. Control panel and all that looks exactly the same. So we've got 6 LEDs across, 10 rows down. These LEDs are emitting 4 different wavelengths, 630 in your red light, 660 in your red light, 830 and 850 in the near infrared range. So that's an even split, 25% going to each, which is pretty cool. It comes with this stand that's included in the price, which is great because some of these other tabletop panels I've reviewed, you have to pay extra. The cost typically isn't too high, but it's nice that it comes included in the price, and it's all screwed on as well, so you don't have to get the screwdrivers out and muck around with that. It is quite stiff, as you can see there. The first time I had one of these stands, the tabletop stands, I can't remember what company it was. I said, hey, you know, that stand's really stiff, it's two-handed, and I sort of said it in a bad way, but I realize now that one, that's kind of the norm, and two, you kind of need it, because these panels, I mean, it's a metal panel, there's a lot of electronics in it, there's a bit of weight to it. This one here, 7 pounds, so it's actually one of the lighter tabletop panels, but obviously you need a sturdy, solid stand that's not going to move around. So I can see why they are stiff there, and once you get it in place that you want it, however you want to set it, it's not going to move. So yeah, I get that, it's cool. On the back is a power switch and some input-output plugs. This is if you want to connect multiple panels together. So for instance, I could get 2 of these, stack them on top of each other, or I could hang this from beneath the 1500, for instance, and control it all from the one panel. Most people, I think, buying this are probably going to use it just as is, but at least you've got that option if you do want to upgrade later on. Power plug is up the top on the back. Good that it's on the back, I do like that. I think it would be better if it was down the bottom though, but anyway, is what it is. There are 2 fans on the back as well. I should mention you can remove that stand if you do want to hang it from the wall. And it did come with some rubber feet here. There's a 1.5 inches or so, and some screws. So what you'd do is you'd screw those feet onto the back and then take that stand off, and you can rest it against the wall or lean it from the wall. On the side here, we see some branding, Mito Red light, and then the control panel, and we'll look at the control panel soon. I think it's a good size for a tabletop panel. I have reviewed some, what was it, the Red Rush Pulse, which is quite tall. It really depends. It's not necessarily in the space you want a really big one. Some people might want smaller ones. It depends how you're going to use it. Like if you're using it for beauty reasons, you know, you're brushing your teeth or doing your makeup and you want a panel just hitting the face, this particular panel is perfect size. If you're wanting it more for like upper body treatment, or you're also going to use it on your legs and stuff, then obviously a bigger panel, you know, your 100 LED, 120 LED panels are going to be more suited. But this 60 LED panel I think is a good size. All right, let's look at all those accessories. I've got them all sitting here. First up, we've got the manual. Lots of information in there for first time users, how to use it, a bit about the company, frequently asked questions. I like all this stuff. I like that they've got all this, use when pregnant, use with implants, pre-existing conditions. Cool, they cover all that stuff. How to set it up, how to hang it, how to connect multiple devices, the stand instructions, how to take them off, so it's relevant for this. Pictures in there as well. A bit about red light therapy, how it works. I'm assuming this goes out with most of the panels. It's not specific just to this one, but that's okay. I mean, a lot of it crosses over anyway. But you know, anyone that's watched my videos before will know that I like companies that include a printed manual, especially a detailed manual that covers not only the product, but also like a bit about red light therapy. Because yeah, I mean, you and I may know a lot about this stuff. Maybe we have multiple panels, and maybe we've been in the space for many years, and we don't even really need to look at this. But there's people out there, you know, maybe that's you as well, like first time buying one of these, you've heard good things about red light therapy, you have no idea how it works. All sorts of questions, right? So it's good that they have this and not just a little document saying, go to this website to download the manual, because they kind of, I don't like that. Other accessories, well, we talked about the rubber feet. We've got the power cables. We have a door hanging hook. So what you can do with this is clip it over the top of a door, like a bedroom door or your wardrobe door. Then you get these metal hooks here, metal cables. They screw on to the top of the panel. You can then hook that onto the door like so. It also comes with a little pulley system. I've done a video on that if you want to check that out. It means you can adjust the height when it's hanging. And there's another cable here for if you're going to connect multiple panels up. Most of the stuff for this particular device won't get used, because if you're going to use it as a tabletop panel, you're not going to be hanging it from the back of your door. It's kind of cool that all of these accessories came in a nice little box here, a branded box. Typically they're just sort of tucked in the corner in the overall box, the big box. So that was kind of a nice addition. We also get a box here with some glasses and goggles in it. Now what's interesting is you get both. You get your goggles, which block all the light out, so when they're on you can't see anything, and you get these glasses. green lens glasses. Well, they're very green. And I'll show you. So you'll see with these on, it blocks out most of the red light, but it means you can still, you know, read a book or be on your phone. So it's kind of cool that they've done both, because yeah, typically you see one or the other. And I do like the glasses if you are worried about your eye health. Speaking of eye health, this magnet, typically we see stickers, but they've included a magnet here, which is kind of cool. Explains how, you know, the light is very bright. Do not stare into the LEDs, use the goggles, eye protection. We do know that near infrared and red light can potentially have some benefits for eye health, but these are very bright, and you know, you can do some damage from overuse, I guess, more from a heat point of view. So yeah, just be wary of that, and that's why the goggles are in here. But the manual touches on more of that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is test this panel. I am going to turn on my spectrometer, do some sums, and I'll get back to you with the findings. And I do have some good numbers, some good readings. The wavelengths line up as they were marketed, so that is good. We had a peak irradiance figure of 72 milliwatts, which is pretty good, especially for a panel of this size. And we had an average over 9 spots of 52.7, which is also really good. In fact, I think those are some of the best, yeah, they are the best figures I've tested so far in the tabletop series. So yeah, if you're looking for the most powerful tabletop panel so far, this is the best I've tested. I haven't tested the Biomax, the Platinum LED Biomax yet though. I will be doing that soon, so be sure to subscribe to check that one out. I had a total wattage figure of 22.6, which meant I could do some value calculations. Dollar per LED was $5.50. Dollar per, these are discounted dollars, per watt was $14.70. Remember, I'll be putting all of this into perspective when I do the comparison series, but $14 for a watt of light is pretty good. I did have the Hooga 300 Pro, which actually came in under $10, $9.50, so the lower the better, which was exceptional, because that panel is it's exceptionally cheap, and I'll be talking about that later in the comparison series. Sound-wise, 49 decibels, so it's pretty good as well. Didn't have any irritating whirs or anything like that. You do get the blend of light. I like that. I like that we're moving away from your standard 660s and 850s. Some of those other panels I just mentioned are only 660 and 850, so that is a big plus for the Mito Red. And you know, we know there's benefits from these other wavelengths, so we may as well tap into them, right? Let's look at operation now. What I'm going to do is bring the camera in nice and close and walk you through the process. Okay, so as I said earlier, the power cable goes in the back here, and there is a big master switch, so you could just leave that on. It doesn't activate any fans or anything like that. Of course, you can turn it off at the wall or turn it off there if you wanted to, but you could leave that on. So there's power going to the unit now, and then you see on this side, you have the touch screen control panel and a little screen. Now, when you turn it on, the screen comes to life. It defaults to 14 minutes, which is unusual. Usually it's 10 or 15. You've got the mode button, time button, and OK. Now time just adds a minute to the clock, all the way up to 20 minutes, so we'll leave it at 10. Mode alternates between red light, which it displays as an A, well, it's meant to be an R, an I for infrared, or both, red and infrared. So the infrared light is invisible. The red light is obviously red, so we're going to leave it on both and then simply hit OK to start it. And as it's running here, you'll see that infrared LED here is glowing. That's just showing that yes, there is power going to the infrared lights, even though you physically can't see it. Hit the OK button to stop. The buttons are quite nice, you know, there's no real feedback as such, but they're quite sensitive, so just a little tap's all you need. You can adjust the time, away you go again. One thing I didn't like with the Mito Red MitoPRO 1500, the bigger version of these, I thought the control panel for a Pro line, that this is their flagship top of the range panel series, I thought it was a little bit basic, you know, especially compared to say the Platinum LED Biomax, but it does everything you need. I didn't really like the mode setup though, right? So by default, Yeah, oh, that's good. By default, the infrared light is going. I think an earlier model I tested, you had to enable the infrared, which I thought was a bit silly. But so if we just run red light here, so the infrared light isn't coming. But yeah, I can see there by default they're both running. So that means really all you need to do is, once it's all plugged in, turned on at the wall, just turn it on, and then just hit, or adjust your time, 15 minutes, whatever you want to do, hit start. That's all you need to do. And once the time is up, it will turn off. Simple as that. Okay, so I haven't used this particular panel for extended periods of time, so I can't really share my thoughts on, hey, how good this works or doesn't work. But I can share my findings on long-term use of the MitoPRO 1500, which is exactly the same, just larger and a little bit more powerful given there's more lights. I do like the multi-wave technology. You know, you got the 4 wavelengths in there. I use mine more for health, well-being, and performance reasons. I'm not too worried about the skin health sort of jazz. And I have had really good results with the Mito Red MitoPRO 1500, like I have with pretty much all the panels I've used. So I don't want this video to be about, you know, does it work or doesn't it work, because we know red light therapy does work and it works well, especially for skin health, for sunburn, for wound healing, all of those things. And I've got lots of, like, you know, if you want to know more about all that stuff, I'll put links to some articles below. I want this video to be more about the product and how it compares to other ones on the market. I really do like these panels, like the size and the tabletop stand. It's taken me years to even look at these, and I've been reviewing red light therapy panels for a long time. But I can see the appeal. I mean, I could have this at my desk, you know, just working away on the computer, and shining on my face, right? And then I can easily move it over the other side, do the same again. I could drop it down on the ground if I had some sore legs and do my legs. The stand, you know, it gives you those options, whereas a big hanging panel, you have to hang it on the wall or lean it up against the wall or on the door and stand in front of it, right? And you're sort of stuck there. But this, yeah, you can just target, you know, your face, your shoulders, your chest, wherever it may be. And it's not too bulky. I mean, I suppose you could even pack it if you're going traveling. Like, it's, you know, it is weighty, but I mean, the stand folds down. If you got enough space in your suitcase, yeah, you could very easily just travel with this and know that, yeah, if you do, I'm just thinking for myself here, like if I'm traveling for a competition, I could take something like this, still use it to target my quads prior to a workout or to a race, or for a recovery, and you don't have to pack a massive box or a massive panel. So that is all good stuff. Now, what I want to do is compare it to other panels within the Mito Red range, and then of course other panels on the market. So we've talked about the 1500. Obviously that's a whole nother ball game when it comes to panels, even though they're the same, from the same company. Instead, there's a MitoPRO 750, which is obviously bigger than this, but smaller than the 1500. That has 150 LEDs. Remember, this one has 60. So it is a lot larger. It is $650, so it's double the price. Plus then you have to buy stands for it. It doesn't come with, you know, the built-in stand. So you are paying a lot more, but you get a lot more LEDs. Obviously, if you're wanting it just for your face, like for tabletop use, then you're probably not even going to consider the 750. Otherwise, you can look at, Mito Red actually have quite a few product lines. They've got their MitoPRO, which is their premium range. They've got their Mito Mod and their Mito Min. Now, the Mito Mod, they have a Mito Mod 300, which is also 60 LEDs, same as this. Also comes with a stand, but it's only 2 wavelengths, your traditional 660 and 850. It's a little bit cheaper, $250. I haven't tested one of them before, so I don't know if the power levels are the same. And I don't know how it compares, you know, with flicker and all that jazz. No, I believe it's flicker free as well. It's $250 versus your $330 for this. I think you're better off spending the money and getting the multi-wavelength design functions. I also don't know what the control panel is like with that Mito Mod. Sorry, I haven't used one before, so it's hard to explain, hard to compare it to. But that could be one that you if you are like penny pinching, maybe that's something that you do consider. Otherwise, you have the Mito Min, which is even cheaper again, $230, 60 LEDs, red and the infrared, your 660 and 850 only, but there's no stand. Yeah, you are saving a bit more money, but you not having that stand is a bit of a blow. But you've got lots of options. That's just with the Mito Red Red light product range itself. If you look outside of Mito Red, then I can run you through a few panels that I've recently tested. Remember, I'll be doing a full comparison series later this year, so be sure to subscribe. I've just got to get my hands on a few more of these tabletop panels before I do that. But if we look at this compared to, say, the Dermabeam 300, that was $450, 60 LEDs, more basic design. Power wasn't that great though. So the dollars per watt there was $33, which is a lot more expensive than this. So yeah, I mean, nothing amazing on that front. The Huga Pro 300, that I've reviewed that, and that was a really positive review for that device. Only $270, which is incredible. 60 LEDs, good power. However, again, only 2 wavelengths. We have the Juve Mini. I haven't tested that. I've just looked at the data online. 60 LEDs, has the big brand name, has pulsing if you're into that, but it's like $1,000 plus shipping in Texas. So you can buy 3 of these for the price of that. So, I mean, yeah, to be honest, I don't know. I wouldn't really consider that. That's also only $660 and $850. Red Therapy have the Red Rush 400, which I have right here as I reviewed this recently. As you can see, that's a lot taller. It's a bigger unit, 133 LEDs, $550 plus 50 for a stand, so $600. You know, nearly twice as much as this. This does have some pulsed light options in it. If you're into that, great. It actually had a pretty good peak, 64 milliwatts, 40 watts overall. So you're getting a lot more. I mean, it's a much bigger panel, so you're getting more power coming from it. Of course, you're spending more money, and it's taking up more room. Okay, but again, you may want to consider that. Finally, we have the Platinum LED Biomax 300. This has 100 LEDs, so slightly bigger than this. $530 plus $100 for the stand. So you are spending a little bit more money though. But that is a multi-wave panel. So you got your 4 or 5, I think it's 5 wavelengths in that panel. So lots of options. It's not as simple with the body panels, you know, your 300 LED panels. It was, you know, like, all right, well, this is the best because it's so much cheaper and everything else is pretty much equal. With these tabletop ones, you really do have to factor in how you're going to use it. I mean, if you just want to sit it like on your desk like so, you probably only want something 60 LEDs. Those bigger ones might get too bulky, right? So yeah, look around, check out all my reviews, and be sure to check out the comparison I do later on this year. Okay, so finally, what are my overall thoughts and feedback? Well, it's a great company. They've been around for a decent amount of time now. Well respected in the red light therapy space. I mean, it's hard to find a bad word about these guys. Good customer care. Actually, I didn't talk about warranty. What do we got? A 3-year warranty. So they stand by their product, 60-day trial period, return period. Comes with all the accessories you need and a good manual. Good power figures, some of the best irradiance figures for a tabletop panel that I've tested so far. Control panel does what it needs to do. Nothing fancy, nothing too complicated. Not too loud. Stand is free, good size, if I didn't mention that already. And a pretty good price overall. I mean, it doesn't have the market leading dollar per watt figures. I mean, there is 1 or 2 companies that are slightly better, but those panels are a lot larger, right? So for the typically the smaller the panel, the more expensive it is. Yeah, I mean, it's still doing really good on a price front, given what you're getting from this. Good power, multi-wave technology, which is a big plus because a lot of the others didn't have that. 3-year warranty period. You know you're buying from a well-respected, legit company. I personally like the Mito Red panels. I mean, I've mentioned the Mito Red MitoPRO 1500 before, came out #1, my body panel series a while ago. So this is just a smaller version of that. So it's hard to say a bad word about it. I still need to test some more panels, some tabletop panels, including the Biomax one. That's going to be quite interesting. So I don't want to go out and say, you know, this is the best or the second best or anything like that yet, because I do need to test them all. And then I will do that comparison series as well. So that will help decide, you know, which one I can say, look, this is what I think to be the best. But really, like I've said many times, all of these panels do what they need to do, what you expect them to do. They all put out a good amount of red light, near-infrared light as well. It just comes down to which one is easier to use, which one is the right size, does it have all the features you want, you know, multi-wave technology, all that sort of jazz. So overall though, it's hard to overlook this panel, that's for sure. You definitely should be considering it. I'm going to sign off now because I don't really know what else to say. If you have any other questions, leave them below. If you do want to buy one of these, be sure to use discount code Alex. It does help me produce more of these videos, and you save a bit as well. And be sure to check out my other videos. All right, guys. Bye-bye.